Hello everyone, CMeeCraft's here, and welcome to another day of CMeeCraft's Steam Holiday Gift Guide. Today we're looking at Solstice, and I think this is some type of visual novel adventure game thing. So let's take a look at it, see if it's any good. New game. This is an interesting vista. So odd. I could have sworn I heard voices. Perhaps it was the wind? Yes, it must have been. If only that damn caravan driver actually did what he was paid for. I have to turn around. You know, I have a wife, you know. Where I come from, his wife would be ashamed, you know? And the Chancellor, I wonder when she last did any actual field work. Not sure who's talking right now. Presumably this person here. I bet she's lounging in that big warm chair of hers right now. On a thick warm carpet. Bloody odds, it's freezing. I can't give up now. Human lives and our reputation are at stake. Besides, it should be right across this valley. Wait. There it is! The jewel of the north. Hold on, this text speed is a bit slow. Can I do anything about that? There we go. It's beautiful. I could have stared at the schematics all I wanted and I still wouldn't have been able to imagine this. That dome doesn't look familiar though. The others must have added it. No matter. I can't just stand here and stare. These pipes must be part of the system. They're so warm. Maybe I could take a short break before I continue. Just for a brief moment. Oh, what's this effect? Huh? I'm pretty sure I heard someone. Then maybe it's time to wake up. You're almost there. Nana? Gede? Is that you? Am I dreaming? Whoa. So it would seem... Well, that would explain why I'm not freezing, and your clothes, no offense, Nana, but you're not exactly who I hoped to see. Really? Now? And who precisely would you have preferred? I'm sorry, it's just, this caravan couldn't go any slower, and the nights are so cold in the north. I hoped you'd be the driver, announcing we'd arrived at the gates. That or something more Entertaining? I'm afraid this is not one of those dreams. That's alright. I'm glad to see you anyway. How are things back home? What's this? Playing Solstice is a bit like reading a book. However, you're often presented with a choice on what to say or do. Your decisions will shape the story ahead. Okay. How should I know? I'm a figment of your imagination. So this is just a dream. How annoying. Stop playing games with me, Nana. I'm not that little boy anymore, and I know what you can do. Oh, but you are, from what I see now, impatient and quick to lash out. Be forceful if you like, but know what type of person you are dealing with beforehand. Thanks for the advice. Even though it's a bit cryptic, you seem very serious about all this. I'm simply concerned about my favorite pupil. Just remember that some mistakes are not worth making. Weren't you the one who taught me that I shouldn't be afraid to experiment with which route I chose to follow? Your trophy, words of wisdom. Just do what must be done and come back home. And keep your secrets safe. They likely sent someone as well. Now wake up! Caravan driver. Wake up, doctor. Why have we stopped? Are we there? Almost. The dogs found someone in the snow. She's still breathing. Damn, lucky if you ask me. And here I was, complaining about an uneventful journey. Let me get my things. Prologue. The arrival. "10 days and 10 nights of shivering, of chattering teeth, of freezing my butt off. At long last, I had arrived. The city of ice, jewel of the north, smelled of wet dog, sweat, and tears. When the gates closed, the city became a winter fortress. No other caravan would arrive for the next 3 months. For better or worse, I'd spend these months with those who didn't leave for the winter, those with reasons to stay through the cold. The loneliness got to me fast. The doctor I replaced left 2 weeks before I came. I didn't even have a chance to speak with him. My patient didn't make for good conversation either. She hadn't regained consciousness since we found her in the raging blizzard. Eventually, I decided to tour the city to see if its inhabitants were as interesting as I imagined them to be. The caravan pilot was my first choice, a strong, silent type, not much of a conversationalist, but she had done her job well, so things were in order. Thanks. For? You brought us here alive. Frozen, but alive. Who would have thought? I don't know. The other one looked almost dead to me. Her? Oh. Fortune's on her side. She'll be fine. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Thanks, but I'd rather not. I trust nobody, and I'd be a fool to change that. Oh, and why is that? Trust is a luxury we living in the north can't afford. Maybe it's different for you southerners, but I make no exceptions. A reasonable attitude, I suppose. My favorite aunt taught me the same thing. Still, aren't you a bit young to have so little faith in others, friend? To think otherwise would be foolish. Fools don't grow old in this city, friend. Well, the city really is something else. You southerners always do that. When you get uncomfortable, you switch to some benign topic. Still, you're right. This place is special. A utopian garden in the middle of an icy desert. Incredible. I wonder how it's done. Look up. Oh. I had a feeling it had something to do with the huge sparkly dome. What a sight. Really interesting. I wonder what went into making it. What in the spirits are you doing? Just making some notes on it. It's a habit I picked up during my studies and done. So what does that do? Ah, the city and its secrets. The city is protected from the harsh northern weather by a special dome. Okay, cool. But if that, I guess that'll be important later. Yes. Important clues and bits of information are stored in your case files. You can access them at any time by clicking the scroll icon on the dialog box. Okay. How can you people appreciate anything with your nose stuffed in your notepads? The real thing is right in front of you. I have no idea. I guess that unnerving human or humming sound comes from the dome too? You'll get used to it. Everybody does. That's how this place works. It makes you accept things. Really now? Is there a story in there you'd like to share with me? We'll spend the next 3 months locked away from the world, seeing the same faces each day. Don't worry, by the time the winter season passes, you'll have heard more stories than you can handle. I can handle a lot. Tell me, am I right in thinking you're not originally from here? We're in a technological wonder raised in the middle of an icy desert. If there's anyone in this city who's actually from here, it's me. I come from the tribes who inhabited this land long before this crazy contraption was built. The less said about them, the better. You missed something important. Or if you missed something important, you can always rewind the game using the mouse wheel or the up arrow. You can't rewind past decisions or through other important moments, though. Okay. Now please, leave me alone, I'm busy. Yukon was as cheerful and perky as a sledgehammer. I wonder what the meaning of her name is in her native tongue. Something tells me it's attitude. She was right about one thing, though. The girl we found in really bad shape. Frankly speaking, she was lucky to be alive. What madness made her venture through the icy desert on foot? I'd have to ask when she woke up. Luckily for me, the next person I met was in a much better condition. Call me superficial if you'd like. Good morning, officer. Why was I summoned here? Am I being arrested? You can press escape or right click to open the in-game menu to save or quit. Yeah, great. Nothing like that. Oh, too bad. So, you're the new doctor. I wanted to welcome you to our city. My name is Cassia. I'm the chief of the guard. Thank you, I'm glad to be here. Pardon my boldness, but you look different from other guards. I've noticed a few around the market, and they had these really fancy uniforms. Those are the private security of the merchant families staying behind over the true winter to protect their precious district. The city guard is a separate entity. Honestly, I couldn't care less about a fancy uniform. Before I got this job, I used to be a salesword. Experience taught me simple attire works best. Besides, you don't look like our last doctor either. Where's your white coat? Good point. I guess it's not the clothes that make the man. Exactly. In any case, I hope your coming here will prove worthwhile. Oh yes, I'm sure it'll be a huge boost to my career. It might. At the very least, you can spend your contracted time analyzing the locals. I'm sure you'll find them odd, eccentric, and generally unstable enough to be worthy of research. So everyone is crazy. Hardly surprising. The circumstances are hardly normal. Take a bunch of healthy people and lock them up for 3 months in the middle of an icy desert. What do you think you'll get? How should I know? You're the doctor, you tell me. You should never rush a diagnosis. People are more complex than they seem at first glance. But fear not, as soon as I spot a psychotic killer, I'll inform the authorities. I can only hope I won't flip and join the party. About that, remind me to tell you what happened to the previous doctor. Anyway, have a good stay in the city, and feel free to drop by the guardhouse if you want to chat. Your every decision matters. The branch icon appears when the current events are a consequence of your early choices, and could be different on another playthrough. Okay. And please don't start any trouble. There are so few of us here, it would be a shame if someone had to spend the entire true winter in jail. Ouch. No worries, Captain. I'll keep my troublemaking nature at bay. Glad to hear it. See you around. I already had a good feeling about Cassia. I'd always felt uniforms and a sense of humor were the perfect combination. Maybe being stuck in this place for 3 months wouldn't be as boring as I thought. My next destination was the local bathhouse. I didn't have time to daydream in the tubs, but I couldn't resist at least dropping by and saying hello. The hostess, as it turned out, was even more friendly than the guard. Good day, traveler. Allow me to welcome you to our city and to my bathhouse. Thank you. Please don't be offended by my question, but how come people were so eager to have a look at me on my way here? They were watching from their windows. This is a big city, am I? A tourist attraction of some sort? An oddity? Or Is there something on my face?
I can say with absolute confidence that there is nothing wrong with your appearance. It is very pleasing to the eye. And being in charge of the bathhouse, I have plenty of physical specimens for comparison.
So you see people without makeup or clothes. That must be revealing.
A little too revealing at times. I have always considered myself a bit of an expert on well-being and beauty. I know how to help people's true inner beauty shine. But there are some moments when I see that some things get hidden for a reason, and should probably stay that way for the benefit of us all.
So I'm exceptionally handsome and that's why people stare at me? Is that what you're saying?
It isn't just that. The weather will cut this city off from the world for 3 months. Aren't you curious about the people you'll be stranded with? They are just as curious about you, especially as so few of us stayed for the dead season, and since you look so alluring.
Seems reasonable to me, and you're right, I am curious, so what do I do now? Find my own window to observe people from?
I'd be glad to formally introduce you to everyone here, if you'd like.
I prefer personal to formal. I prefer to speak freely with people without hiding behind archaic rules.
You should come to the bathhouses more often. Then, this place where people relax and speak their minds.
If that's the case, I'll definitely be back. I was beginning to think people were chatty and warm here in the north. Back in the Isles, we partied whenever there was a newcomer, because it was the polite thing to do, yes, but mostly because parties are fun. Constance seemed like a woman used to a more sophisticated type of entertainment, though. And I must admit, her perfume smelled amazing. But I started to wonder, what did folks in the city do when they wanted to have fun? I guess watching the dome could be an entertaining, if nauseating, pastime. And there was always talking to other people, at least that's what I thought until I met Sem, not the most social fellow. He was also a dog person. So these are the kennels? I don't really know what I was expecting. So I'm the new doctor, I just arrived, and I'm going around meeting everyone. In truth, if Constance hadn't told me about this place, I'd probably never have found it. I value my privacy. So, what do you do around here? I handle the dogs. Yeah, the barking sort of spoiled that surprise. So, you have a couple of nice pups. That's great. I like dogs. I don't have them. You can't own a dog, just like you can't own a friend. No dog would ever say he was owned. Oh, and what would a dog say? nothing, of course. But no dog would have such an idea. They're much more honest than humans. Honest? Haven't you ever seen a puppy pretend it hadn't slept in your bed, despite leaving fur everywhere? It likely wasn't properly told that its pack doesn't share a lair. Don't expect animals to understand human customs. People, however, understand them well, and try to take advantage of them intentionally. I guess they do. What was your name again? I'm Sim, the city's master of kennels. A pretty important position, seeing as all travel here is done by dog sled. I do what I'm good at. Well then, nice meeting you. It was nice to meet you, Sam. You are certainly a character. See you soon. No, useless chit-chats. Unlike most people, it was nice meeting you, Doctor. So diverse and full of life. Yes, the atmosphere of this new city was already starting to sink in. Everyone back home thought it was insane for coming to a place. Thought I was insane for coming to a place where the water is frozen and the people wear ridiculous amounts of clothing all the time. If only they knew. I was still exhausted after the journey, so the final introductions had to wait until the next day. My quarters were surprisingly comfortable, even inviting. Apparently, the previous doctor had been somewhat demanding. I asked, Aisha if he was the only official around, and if all the powerful merchants I heard so much about had already left the city. He merely smiled and told me to expect a guest early in the morning. And some guest it was. Spirits, yes, I'm coming. Hello, who is this? Open up, boy. Haven't got all day. Some of us have to sleep, you know. What? Did your southern son eat your manners, or are you dense by nature? I'm the one who's paying you. Open the damn door. Oh, hello there, sir? Madness, do they let infants cure people now? Well, what is it, kid? You can speak, can't you? Sorry, I'm half asleep. I'm not normally like this. I'm quite good at speaking, though I admit I still have problems with some of the bigger words. Especially when I'm half asleep. It'll do you good to get up early. It's almost daytime anyhow. Well, I guess you'll have to do. They wouldn't have said someone wholly incompetent. I see the captain already showed you the office. You will be attending to your professional duties here. This includes your patients and the plants. The old doctor left quite a herbium, I must say. It would be a pity to see it wither because you lack the discipline to care for it. I take my obligation seriously, sir. I assure you of that. Do you now? Well, it's good to hear such a thing from one so young. What was your name again? I'm Gown, sir. Ah, yes. Of the Geed clan. It's not exactly a clan. It matters not. I know of your family, tribe, or what have you. Quite famous, some of you. Very expensive services. But I digress. Do your jobs, right, and we'll get along just fine. And whatever you do, don't trouble me. I may be retired, but that only means I have even more control over what I do with my time. I understand, sir. Good. Maybe you're not as feeble-minded as that ridiculous smile makes you look. And call me Istvan. I don't hold official titles anymore, so you don't have to sir me. Istvan was something else. I don't think I'd ever met a man his age with so much energy. He was actually in a hurry to go to bed, which made me wonder what he'd been doing the whole night. He also gave me a priceless piece of information. I was to get all my meals at the local inn. Just in time too, I was getting hungry, and when I'm hungry, I'm only half the charmer. Hello there, madam. Are you the innkeeper?
Hello to you too, young man. That I am. You're the new doctor, aren't you?
Yes, that's me. It must be obvious, what with so few people left in the city and me being the only new face.
I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't know who you were, Galen.
Including knowing my name.
Especially the name. Mine's Salva, by the way. Or Slava, by the way.
Pleased to meet you, Slava.
But what are you doing here, at this early hour? Let me guess, the old fool paid you an early welcome visits?
I wake up early anyway. It's alright, I'm glad to be up so early. Got a lot of things to do.
Oh my, such a positive outlook on life. Haven't seen that around here in a while. Istvan isn't the easiest person, you know. Be careful not to yield to his every whim.
Apparently he was up all night and wanted to speak with me before he went to bed. As long as he doesn't do that every morning, I can put up with his unusual habits. But isn't Istvan your boss too? Isn't it risky for you to call him?
What, an old fool? If I got a silver shilling each time I called him that to his face, I'd have my own palace in the merchant's district by now.
Istvan tolerates this?
He needs me. I also think he respects me because I, unlike so many others, speak my mind openly. He probably feels a bit sorry for me as well. I think because of Lev.
Who is Lev?
My insane husband.
Oh, may I ask what happened to him?
Huh. What happened to him? But I'm babbling. You came here to eat, didn't you?
I immediately liked Slava. Direct and edgy, she also came across as a kind and caring person. I was looking forward to getting to know her better. But also in that moment, my curiosity about Slava's husband awoke. For almost a week, I barely got a glance of him. I began to imagine him as some sort of lunatic, with inhuman attributes that got weirder each time I thought about him. By the time he came to me, I half expected him to have a tail, horns, and smell of sulfur. The funniest thing about Lev is that he didn't disappoint me. When he appeared at my doorstep, everything about him proved Slava was right. Oh wow, what a character. I'll be right with you. I just need to water these Atropa. Man, what happened to you? Did someone beat you up? Someone? If one's not a fool, can you honestly call him someone? Who did this? They want it. Kala, glory over my dead body. Kala, what? Listen, you're safe now. Let me check your wounds. You have bruises. But a head with no skin can get no bruises. Let them try with the Hollow Guardian. Come, look in the empty eye sockets. Dog within, horns hiding the light. I asked if that was Kala. The cuts and bruises are going to hurt. They'll heal soon enough, but your collarbone might be fractured. I'm afraid you could have a mild concussion. Might not even be that mild. Lie down and let me get you the medicine. No, it's calling to me. Release the pain and be gone. What? You can't leave. You shouldn't be walking in your condition. You want to command he who will command Kala? Release the pain. You want me to relieve you of pain? You need help. Tell me exactly what occurred today. Hide nothing so I can treat you properly. I have to go now. Oh, wait! You need to stay because of the pain. You're in a lot of pain. You won't be able to do much in your condition. You can't even stand up straight without support. Let me treat you and escort you home, or wherever it is you're staying. No, it will guide me. The Kala will make me stronger. Wait, drink this. It'll at least take care of the pain and stop any possible infections. Drink, you'll heal faster, and please, take it easy. Just go slow. Drink very good. Okay, so that seems to be the end of the prologue. And I guess this is where we'll end this look at this game. We might just so that kind of, I guess, was an introduction to all of the various characters and whatnot. Now then, so this game costs $20 on Steam. Now, this is, of course, tough for me to figure out if I actually recommend it, seeing as I've only played a very small portion of it. You know, it would be like asking if especially with a game that puts so much emphasis on the storyline, it would be like trying to recommend a book based off of reading, I guess, the prologue or just the first chapter, you know? I will say it's definitely a high quality visual novel. You know, the art is good and there's interesting visual effects and there's this whole thing. It's very polished is what I'm trying to say. And so it's definitely a very polished, professional, I guess, visual novel. And thus far, the world it is building does certainly look interesting, and I'm certainly fascinated to see where this story is going. At $20, it's I mean, it's still not a $60 game, but you know, $20 is actually a bit more on the expensive end for a visual novel, I believe. I mean, I'm not a huge aficionado of the genre, but I think that's on the more expensive end. And I honestly can't say if this is worth that necessarily. I don't know really how long it is, but I can say it is definitely a very polished visual novel at the very least, and the premise does have me very much intrigued. So yeah, it's a bit of an indecisive statement. It's a lot easier to judge a very mechanically based game, because you can tell immediately, or fairly soon, like, oh yeah, the mechanics of this game are sound, or oh, the mechanics of this game just simply don't work. With the story, so far, I'd say it's opening fairly well. I think it's certainly gotten me intrigued, and I would not be against playing more of this game just to kind of see where it goes. But of course, I just don't know at this time. So there's my mostly useless opinion about this game. Okay. So hopefully my opinion will be a bit more useful next episode. But until then, I've been CMeeCraft, and I'll catch you in the next episode where we'll be looking at another game. Goodbye.